Shalom. First, I want to say, call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Ruwell, and who have taught us knowledge. Honors and salutations to you, fellow laborers that's doing the work of truth, sincerity. Shalom to you, and shalom to the Akhwat that believe as well. Back at you with another lesson. I'm just doing a response to a video clip which I came across. Fair use, by the way. And, it was very interesting, the question that was posed, all right, in this particular clip, courtesy of At Night Talk, fair use again. I don't monetize my videos if you do see this video. And more importantly, if you do see this video, one thing clearly shows with, you, my man, is that, you lack knowledge of the Holy Scriptures. Okay? And I'm going to prove that, all right? But let me play the clip first. And I'm not talking stuff, I'm just telling you how it is. We men of Israel, all right, that serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we were set up to speak the truth. All right. So the truth gonna come out about, what was asked and what was said in this video clip, okay?
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? It is okay to be white.
No, that's not okay. It's terrible to be white.
No, y'all got too much. Yeah, y'all got too much.
Who want to be white? That's awful.
No.
Dang. Is she trolling, bro? You think, well, she said she was racist a minute ago, but damn, dog, damn, that's terrible. That's terrible, bro. At least she is openly admitted to it, but you got closet motherfuckers moving like that. That's crazy to have that much hatred for a motherfucker because of the color of their skin, dog. Like, we just around time. Damn.
So why is
surprising.
Why is it not okay to be white?
Y'all have the race as a people. Y'all have done too much. I would rather
people.
Yeah, as a whole.
And it's a group of people.
Too much good or too much bad?
Too much bad.
And that's well said. Now, it's funny how, these women are like they of the tents of Judah. I perceive them to be of the tents of Judah. But it's funny that, they was right on point in knowing that Esau, Edom, is evil, all right? Which the man you call white, he was created to be the wicked, man. All right, period, all right? Malachi 1:4 tell you that, man. And he knows it, and he's been exposed, all right, for his wickedness. So what they said was, is it okay to be, and they said white, which we say so-called white because the man that called himself white is really red. Going to the time of Jacob and Esau being born, right? It describes Esau as being red. Excuse me. All right. And I'm going to prove it right here in Genesis 25:25. Okay. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, which is an expression. Esau, when you look it up, it means Ishashwa, and it means he wasted. All right, the root word is Isha, which means wasted. All right? And the reason why they said that because he was born lacking melanin, all right, or brown pigmentation. Okay, and when you go to verse 30, all right, it says, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, meaning the meat, right, that Jacob was preparing. When you know the whole story, you can read the whole story in this book of Genesis 25th chapter, right? I'm just, in the key points, right? It says, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. He was out in the field hunting and stuff. Therefore was his name called Edom. Okay, Edom means red, all right? The Hebrew word there is Adawam. Okay, Esau looked red because he lacked melanin or brown pigmentation. Therefore, he was called Edom, out of one. All right, and they're also known as Idumeans, which is the Greek term for Edom when you look it up. Okay, so the Lord didn't create so-called white people. Okay, you gotta remember, back in the ancient world, people were super dark. That's the reason why the mark of Cain that the Lord placed upon Cain was that he stripped him of his pigment. Okay, if you don't have no pigment, you're like a so-called white person. Okay, and even the so-called white race, which really they're the Edomites. All right, the house of Esau, Edom. Esau is Edom. All right, Genesis 36:8. He's the father of the Edomites. They even know that their skin type, all right, bothers them because they know that looking dark is the way to look. All right, looking like a person of color. All right, which would be the brown, different shades of browns, skinned people of the earth, which are the rest of the nations, right, outside of the nation of Esau, Edom. They know that looking like that is the way to look. Okay, and that's the reason why they tan, and that's the reason why they do it all year round, especially in wintertime. They can't go out to the beach and get no sun because the sun really harms them. Okay, they catch skin cancer and things like that. The sun makes their skin boil, and they get them big boils and blisters. It burns them, all right, really bad, and they get those boils and rashes, and they develop skin cancer. Okay, hence one of the highest spots of skin cancer is in the land of Israel. Okay, one of the highest spots of so-called white people catching cancer will be in the land of Israel. Now that's a fact. You can Google that, do your research. All right, that's one of the hottest places on earth because it's near the equator. And if you don't have any melanin out there, near the countries that are around the equator, that's not a good situation. I'll just say that. Okay. So let's move from there. I want to go to the book of Numbers, right? Let's go to the book of Numbers. Okay, the book of Numbers, the 12th chapter. And it says the murmuring of Miriam and Aaron, because they was speaking against Moses, right? And the Lord punished Miriam for speaking against Moses because she is the woman. All right, and a woman has no business speaking against a man. I show you that a lot of women in this society is out of order, but that's another subject for another day. All right, so Numbers 12:5, it says, and the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. In the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Right? This is what the Lord is, asking, Miriam and Aaron, right? Verse 9, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. All right? And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow, and Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. See? Now, when you read on the NLT, this is how it reads, right? Starting in verse 9, the Lord was very angry with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow, from leprosy. See, the Lord turned her into a leopard. All right, it's called leprosy in the scriptures. You can read about that in the book of Leviticus, the 13th chapter. It tells you all about leprosy. See? So she, in other words, all right, talking about Miriam. Miriam, in other words, looked like a so-called white woman. Right? It says when Aaron saw what had happened to her, he cried out to Moses, "Oh, my master, please don't punish us for this sin we have so foolishly committed." See? So if it was okay for her like a so-called white woman, right? It says her skin, all right, was white as snow, right? From leprosy, right? If it was okay for her to look like that, why did Aaron, cry out to Moses and begging him not to lay not to sin upon them, right? That's what he said, right? See? Verse 12, don't let her be like a stillborn baby already decayed at birth, because a stillborn is a child is born and is stillborn, meaning it had passed away. All right, in the process of labor, so the baby is born, and is deceased. And when you die, you look decay. Your body starts to decay, and you turn pale. Okay. See, that's the reason why you would embalm, your loved one right away, because that preserves their color, especially when you're a person of color. All right, it'll show better, because when you embalm them, it preserves their color and they won't fade like that. Okay. Excuse me. So it says, don't let her be like a stillborn baby already decayed at birth. So Moses cried out to the Lord, "O power, I beg you, please heal her." But the Lord said to Moses, if her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, and after that she may be accepted back. See? So at night talk, my man, is it okay for him to look like that? The answer would be no, according to the Holy Scriptures, man, according to the Bible. Okay? Now, you said something that you said, how can someone have so much hatred in their heart for somebody because of their skin color? Well, did not Esau do that to all of us, especially you so-called Negroes, the tribe of Judah? Well, let's pull up the receipts. All right, let's pull up the receipts. You can see what I typed in, right? Vintage colored only sign, right? Oh man. Waiting room for colored only by order police department. So colored only, right? I mean, you can go into the area of so-called white people where they was being served at in public places. All right. Check this one out. It says, warning, Negroes must stay in colored town after dark unless you are working. I wonder why they did that. Why they posted signs like that, right? I mean, at night talk, you look like you about my age, my man. I'm in my mid-30s, and I know very well what hatred the so-called white race have for us. And this is before I learned this knowledge. I was raised to know that. Okay? That we're not friends, and that they hate us and they don't like us. And it showed when I got older. And when I learned this knowledge of the scriptures, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, waking me up through the men that I learned from, the elders and apostles and the brothers that have been laboring before me, I understood why there is hatred between us, because that goes back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, when the Lord put an enmity between this, during the time of Adam and Eve, his seed and her seed, it was enmity put there, meaning hatred. And it later on showed after the flood, in Jacob and Esau, because after Isaac died, all right, tells you in the 27th chapter of Genesis how Esau purposed to kill Jacob because of the blessing, all right, that Jacob was blessed with, okay, because Jacob means supplanter, and he supplanted Isaac, all right, to get that blessing, because the Lord had put on the spirit of Rebekah to cause Jacob to get that blessing. See? Look at this. Waiting room for whites only. Whites only, right? I'm telling you, man. Jake don't know who the enemies are, man. And I'm not making fun of, this guy. The simple thing is, he just need to look up history and understand who created this racist society we live in. All right, it says man hears flavor that stays with you. Red man made from good cigar leaf. See, he put the red stigma on Gad. Okay, and you see this man in this little picture. He's the one red. See, when they first seen Gad and us Reubenites, they knew that we was dark, because even the Mormons said that that Gad was cursed with being black because of they put that Hamitic the curse of Canaan upon the Gad, right, saying that the Lord had cursed them because they was dark. They called him Negro. See, and then you have the title that they've given us Reubenites was we're called the Black Seminoles. See, or they refer to us as the Black Seminoles of the Florida Everglades. See, so if there's something wrong, with a person looking a certain way, who created that? That would be Esau, and Esau knows that the Lord created man from the dust or the soil of the ground, and that's the reason why he's changing, all right, the meanings of things, because he knows that the Lord created man from the soil or dust of the ground, and that's the reason why people that look like the soil or the ground, it looks like the original people of the ancient world, as far as in looks. And even the Heavenly Father and his Son, all right, are men of color, all right, so-called black men. The angels, right? This is Genesis 3:19, right? Going to the creations, it says, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. See? And when you look it up, right? You can look it up. It should give you the, okay. See, Adama. If you know how to read the Hebrew, from right to left, right? Adama, Adama. See? It says ground. You look up ground, or you web search ground, right? Click on images. What you have? Ground. Look at this. You see so-called white person's feet right there. You see whoever this is, a woman or man, whatever, their feet don't look like the ground. All right, look at this ground or soil they have in their hand. See how rich it is? Look at this dark complexion. See? That's why, every nation outside of Esau, Edom, looks like the ground. Different shades, light, the dark, and in between, right? And Esau don't have pigment unless you get with the dark nations, which are all the, the other nations outside himself. All right, to look like he have pigment. See? So the Lord established, okay, what was the complexion, all right, that was the standard. See? So it even tells you, what links up with that I just read in the 3rd chapter of Genesis, right? It tells you in Ecclesiastes 12:7, right? It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, meaning our bodies, right? Because again, we were made from the dust of the ground, like I just read. And the spirit shall return unto the heavenly Father who gave it. That's why he's known as the Father of spirits. Okay. So there you go. All right. So is it okay to look like them? The answer is no. All right. He makes fun of Israelites, especially Judah. Judah's the lead tribe. They make fun of Judah for looking dark. All right, but Judah looked like the Heavenly Father and His Son. When it describes the Heavenly Father's Son, does it not say that he's a so-called black man when you know the description of how he looked according to the scriptures? See? This is the reason why you had a thing called iconoclasm. See? That Esau had done during the Renaissance. All right? The rebirth of them coming back into power. All right? He changed the original images, which were dark images, into so-called white images. Okay? That's what it says in Judges. I'm sorry, not Judges, but Job 9:24, right? Let me see here. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? See? So when you look up God and Jesus and the angels, right? When you type in on Google like that, you come up with so-called white images. Well, if they look like so-called white images, that means so-called white people created those images, because you go to the Dark Ages, all right, pre-Renaissance, there were dark images. This is why you have Russian icons. See? This is why the Lord calls his servants to bring out this knowledge and truth about who are the people, and the truth of who the so-called white man really is. Let's go to Isaiah. I'm going to go to Isaiah 25:7, because they're not, again, there's no such thing as white people. All right, they're red people. Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations and nationality. All right, who is who according to the Bible. The Lord destroyed that deceit that Esau created of who nations are, and all these different titles that have been placed upon all the people upon the face of the earth, even himself. Okay, even himself. Okay, when you look at our nationality being stolen, well, when you look up how, when you look up how the Israelites look according to the biblical definition of how they look, or defining how the Israelites look, right, according to color. Of course, we have speckled birds, but before they were speckled birds, they looked like originally, so-called black and brown people. All right, still this very day, we still look like so-called black and brown people, and then you have the speckled bird Israelites as well. They look like even like Esau, so-called white people. Okay, this is why we bring out that fact every time we go into, the tares and wheat. We go into that fact when we highlight, Israelite foreigner, speckled bird Israelite that look like Esau or another nation. We go into the fact that Israel looked like a speckled bird, and we truly do. Okay, we truly do. Okay, some of them so-called white people that you think that is, so-called white people, because you look at their skin complexion, but you look at their spirit and their mannerism. All right, you will see that the ones that have that talent and it stands out. You'll see that they're really Israelites, because Israelites stand out. Okay, we're a peculiar people, and our peculiarness, stands out. Okay, so they mentioned, they mentioned that that they have a lot of evil that they have been done, right? This is Malachi 1:4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished. Well, let me read it in the NLT, right? Malachi 1:4 in the NLT. Esau's descendants in Edom may say, we have been shattered, but we will rebuild the ruins. But the Lord of heaven's armies replies, they may try to rebuild, but I will demolish them again. Their country will be known as the land of wickedness, and their people will be called the people with whom the Lord is forever angry. Hey, well said, man. So the Edomites took over this country from us, right? And what this country is known as in the Bible, Babylon the Great. All right, this the great city of confusion, man. All right, the great city of confusion, because Babylon means confusion. And is this place not a place of confusion? Absolutely, it definitely is, man. All right, you got grown men, all right, declaring themselves as the opposite gender now, and vice versa. All right, this place is definitely confusion, man. Little kids changing, having, sex change. I mean, that's another subject for another day. But hey, this place is a place of confusion. All right, and it's because the wicked is ruling. They tell you when they came into power that evil was multiplied. I stated that in the last lesson I just did. They was known as the Greeks. All right. And then you look at the history of the Edomites. Okay. They're the most violent people, all right, upon this earth, and that's true. They've done the most evil and wicked things. That's why you go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it tell you that Edom was not promised any mercy, all right, as far as regarding judgments that's coming from the Heavenly Father. They wasn't promised any mercy. It says they're the only neighbors of the Israelites that was not promised any mercy, because the Edomites have the heaviest punishment of all for their wickedness. It tells you that, let me go to another precept, the Lord is discovering, all right, excuse me. I'm reading on the NLT again, right? Lamentations 4:21 and verse 22. It says, are you rejoicing in the land of Uz, O people of Edom? But you too must drink from the cup of the Lord's anger, which, the cup of the Lord's anger represents slavery. All right. Again, Genesis 49:12. All right. Thou shalt not go unpunished. Talking about the Edomites concerning Edom. It says, you too will be stripped naked in your drunkenness. O beautiful Jerusalem, your punishment will end. You will soon return from exile, because the Lord is going to take us back to our homeland. All right, he's going to gather the elect and the rest of the remnant, which is the 1/3, and going to take us back to our homeland. All right, Lord willing, I'm a part of that elect, okay? But Edom, your punishment is just beginning. Soon your many sins will be exposed. What it says in 2 Thessalonians 2, let me get that. That he's the man of sin. Okay? He's the man of sin. Here it is right here. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm gonna start at 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. See? The man of sin, which is Esau. Okay, this perdition means destruction. Okay? And he's about govern his society with, his own wicked laws that he have created. All right. It speaks about, those that decree unrighteous decrees, all right, or that write unrighteous decrees. Isaiah the 10th chapter. It says, "Woe unto you who let me get that. I'm butchering it. Shalakia. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." Now that's what Esau does. That's one of his main characteristics, right? Because when you go back to, let me go back to 2 Thessalonians, right? 2. When you read it on the NLT, it says, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3, "Don't be fooled by what they say, for that day will not come until there is a great rebellion against God, and the man of lawlessness." See? And the scripture said that the law is slacked. Okay? Esau wants to get that blessing back, right? He never had it, but he wants to get our blessing, right? But he had all this time, all right? He had all this time, all right, to do, what the Lord commanded of us. He had time to try and perform it himself, but he didn't do it. He disregarded it. It says that in Psalms the 50th chapter. "But unto the wicked, the Heavenly Father said, What hast thou done to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my judgments, into thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instructions?" Because the law of the Heavenly Father is instructions. All right? Perfect instructions, might I add. All right? If I may add that. The Lord's way is perfect. But Esau don't think that. Hence, he created his own laws. Okay? It says, "The man of lawlessness is revealed, the one who brings destruction." Now, look at the nations, man. Esau is known as the spoiler, or the treacherous dealer. Okay? Who spoiled the nations, man? Who smote the people with, continual stroke by destroying their governments, their leaders, stealing their resources? Look no further than the so-called white man. Who bombed the Middle East and back? All right, who bombed Black Wall Street? All right, where you have it where Esau, the so-called white man, the only time he have bombed his own citizens was during Black Wall Street, man. Look at slavery in itself. The slavery of our people, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Is it not the greatest sin that he could do against the Lord's people? And then have the nerve to claim our nationality? Come on, man. And then you would have, this at night talk guy. He's making, comments like he's making. Okay, because he don't understand the scriptures. Okay, clearly he don't understand the scriptures, because had he understand the scriptures, okay, he wouldn't be saying such things. All right. And you brothers out there, I'm not supporting the NW. Inside joke. But this video clip just, as you can see when I played it, it was just telling, right? I mean, I had to do a response on it, right? I don't support the NW. Elder Murphy, if you see this video, inside joke. Let me continue on though. I had a dove moment. It was funny though. Isaiah 26 and verse 10, it says, "Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord." See? And he's been given favor by being put in the rulership. All right. Esau is in the ruling seat. He is on top. All right. And all the rest of us nations, as Israelites and the rest of the nations outside himself are on the bottom. Everybody's subject to Esau's rule right now because the Lord put him in that position. He even have the land of Esau even have the land of Israel in his possession. Okay. And what he's doing. All manner of wickedness. When you look at, I was going to make a statement here. When you look at the fact that you have kosher pig being served in the land of uprightness, which is the land of Israel, when you have the biggest rainbow parade, or one of the biggest parades known, all right, worldwide in the land of Israel, and we know that that's utterly against the Lord's law, which is the Torah. They say Torah, but it's the Torah. Right, the Lord is extremely against people committing abominable acts. All right, so again, like I quoted earlier, the Lord's law is slack. Now we know when the people of that land, the children of Israel, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, when we return, the law of the Lord is going to go forth throughout the whole earth. It says in Isaiah the 2nd chapter. Okay, when the children of Israel return to the land, that the nations are going to come up and act the way of, let me get it, man. I don't want to just keep quoting it. Isaiah 2. 2. It says, let me see. Isaiah 2 and 3, I'm sorry. It says, "And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, excuse me, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." See? The law. Why not? Why is the law not going forth, and people of, the nations, all right, not, seeking the law of the Lord, okay? Let me read it on the NLT. "People from many nations will come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of Jacob's God. There he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the Lord's teaching will go out from Zion. His word will go out from Jerusalem." See? Because the Lord gave Israel the law. It tells you that the Lord appointed the law in Jacob. See? And then the law wasn't appointed for it to be ignored. All right, for the sons of Jacob or the people of Jacob to ignore him. Okay? And how do we know that? Because there are the curses. All right, the prophetic curses that befell upon the children of Jacob for not keeping the law. All right, which landed us in slavery. See? And this is a part of the new covenant that the Lord is going to program us. All right, after he gives us that, that immortal body and program us to be perfect, man. To keep what? The law. See? But right now, the man of sin, which is the man that's against the Heavenly Father's law, he's ruling. All right? He opposes everything that is called the Most High, man. And the Most High established, he opposes it, man. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So what these ladies said in this video clip was on point. The bad and evil that they've done is known throughout the whole earth, man. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say, Lord willing, this video have been edifying. All right. Hey, at night talk, you should do your own research, man, and consider what the scriptures are saying, because Jake don't seek knowledge, man, as a whole. That's why a lot of Jakes are caught off guard when they run into men of the Lord. All right, when they run into men of the Lord, or just the camps in general that know who Esau is, and know the basic things about who the nations are, and especially concerning the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. A lot of our people are offended because they never heard that before, but it's clearly in the scriptures, man. So anyways, Lord willing, I want to say, Lord willing, you guys were edified, all you Akim and you Fuak Waf out there, Shalom until next time, and Abba Ball, Shalom, Mesha Allah Bakaya, Shalom.